Welcome. You're listening to John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. This is another video for commercial real estate agents and brokers around the world to help them with the special skills within the industry, be that in sales, leasing, or property management. And this particular topic is all about how to cold call successfully in commercial real estate brokerage. If you are a broker working with sales or leasing activity, then this particular topic will be of use to you. If you haven't checked us out before, please check out the website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. Every day I put up special topics for brokers and agents to help them with the unique skills of the industry. Only yesterday I put up a topic which was relating to advertising, specific advertising skills when you're designing the advertisements within your property activity. And I think the day before I also placed some special skills up there relating to sales. So you can check out that particular website and get the skills that you need in commercial real estate brokerage. So let's go back to this particular video and talk about cold calling in a deep and meaningful way. So I've broken this particular video up into 7 particular tasks and points of focus when you're cold calling. Firstly, researching your property market. Next, practicing your skills. Next, I'll be talking about the best time of day. Next, we're going to look at the focus on creating meetings and why you should do that. Then I'll be talking about keeping in regular contact with the right people. Number 6 is relevant property information that you can use. And lastly, creating conversations. So they are the topics and we will move through them. So it's important to understand that the cold calling process is critical to the momentum and the success of any commercial real estate agent or broker today. At an individual level, every agent should have a cold calling strategy that they can implement every day. Talking to new people will help you and of course will help any broker or agent build a number of fresh leads and opportunities within property types and locations. So here are the valuable ideas to help you structure your cold call prospecting model for commercial real estate brokerage today. Indeed, how you can cold call more successfully in the trade. We'll go to number 1. Research your property market and of course get to know the people that are in it. Get to know the properties. Understand the market comprehensively. Review the streets and the property types to identify the correct people to call. The research part of what we do is really important. Ideally, you should be connecting with the property investors and the business leaders within your territory, within your patch. If you systemize the process street by street, building by building, you will find opportunities to work with over time into the future. Now, the key aspect of what you're doing here is to create a meaningful conversation, and you will need to talk to the right people as part of that conversation. So, understand the correct people to call, connect with investors and business leaders for the area, review the streets comprehensively, systemize that process yourself, get involved. Your knowledge locally is very important when you create conversations. And lastly, your property market is your territory. Get to know it, split it up. If it's a large territory, split it up. Next, we'll go into practicing your skills. Number 2. The best way to improve your conversions in cold calling is to practice your skills and your processes. Practice on a daily basis so that your call conversations can be quite natural and conversational. Most of the people that we talk to are experienced in business. They're also experienced in investment. They require professional treatment. They like to know the relevant information for the area, but you need to be professional in what you do. Of course, most of them will initially push you back until such time as you can provide them with relevance and that they trust you. Forget about pitching your services as part of the call process. Focus on creating conversations in a meaningful way. Show respect to the people that you talk to. So let's recap here. Don't pitch, but communicate. Encourage the conversation to flow. Lift your call conversions, your conversations. Do that professionally. Be natural and be conversational. Don't pitch. The business leaders and the property owners that we talk to don't need to be pitched to. Be professional in everything you do across the telephone. Show respect, and lastly, build your skills and your processes as part of your practice. So let's go to number 3. The time of day. There are certain times of day where your call conversions will be more successful and direct. Change the time of day devoted to making the calls until such time as you understand what works and what doesn't work, of course, in connecting with the best number of people successfully. Make the calls at the right time of day. Understand how your calls integrate into the people that you talk to. Over a period of 2 hours, you should be connecting with approximately 15 to 20 individual people. To get to that number of connections, you will be making approximately 40 to 50 outbound calls. Yes, I said 40 to 50. Some people will not be available initially, and on that basis you'll need to return to them over time with other phone calls at different times and on different days. The database that you use as part of the call process will be critical to the results that you achieve. Develop a system of call contact and a database that works for you. So let's recap here. The best time of day. As I said, you should be making calls across a 2-hour period. You will be connecting with approximately 15 to 20 people. The other people that you will be calling out of the 40 to 50 outbound calls, they simply won't be available. So you will be making return telephone calls. I go to the point that you need to understand the best times of day to make those calls, to connect with the right people. There are certain times of the day where the calls will be more successful. So integrate that call time frame into your diary. Now, your database choices are really important. Choose a database software program that is special and unique. You can segment the people that you talk to into buyers, investors, sellers, and tenants. Now, the return phone calls at different times and on different days will come to you through a database process. You can do that over time. So let's look at number 4. Focus on creating meeting opportunities. That's what the game is all about. Don't pitch. It's a meeting that you require. The very nature of commercial real estate is complex. For that reason, the calls that you make should be centered on qualifying the interest of the person in future real estate activities, be that sales, leasing, or property management. When that fact has been established, you can move forward towards the suggestion of a meeting. Don't waste your time, don't waste their time. Meetings allow you to open up with a level of professional personal contact into the future. It can take some months, if not years, for the appropriate levels of trust and activity to have been established with some clients and customers. So let's look at the issues here again. Remember to establish trust. Yes, it can take months and years to get there with the right person. Personal contact is critical. You need to put yourself into the process. People need to trust you. Always qualify a person's interest or involvement in commercial real estate brokerage. And lastly, suggest a meeting with the right people at the right time when they trust you. So let's go on to number 5. Keep in regular contact. The initial calls that you make should be the start of the call process. They are the start of the contact process over time. I go back to the point, it takes months and years to get to the right people sometimes. Now, some people will need to be contacted 3 or 4 times before they will need you to create a meeting with them. Their time is precious. They are professional. If they have no relevance in commercial real estate today, they will likely not meet with you. So you need to be making the calls into the future regularly and directly. You should be repeating the call process every 60 to 90 days with those people that may have a future interest in commercial real estate activity. Who are they? They are property investors and they are business leaders. So let's recap here. 3 or 4 times of making those calls to create a meeting. Yes, it takes that much. Call relevance is really important. Have some local information at hand to talk to the person about. Focus on their interest in commercial real estate activity. If they're not interested, you don't need to meet with them. You don't need to waste their time. Now, initial calls are an ongoing contact process. So you get the call started and then you repeat the call process every 60 to 90 days. I go back to the point that it will take 3 or 4 times in most cases for you to create a meeting with the right person. So let's go to number 6. Use relevant property information for the location. As part of making those particular calls, have the information at hand that you can use. That will be local property information to feed into your conversations and your meetings. Now, you can talk about the levels of sales and leasing activity locally, time on market factors and other properties in the vicinity that may be available for occupancy and or purchase. Most business leaders will have a general interest in commercial property when it comes to neighbouring businesses, local property activities, rentals and prices. Build up your cold call systems and processes around relevant, regular property updates. Make the calls. So let's recap. Local listings, they'll be interested in hearing about them. Local property information, yes, that's also of interest. Your property services can be spoken about, but don't pitch. Provide regular property updates, talk about rents and prices, and talk about time on market. So let's go to the last point here. Number 7. Create conversations. I've mentioned this all through the particular video here. The best cold calls today are generated from conversations. Some of the people that you talk to will have little interest in talking today about their property needs. They need to build trust with you, or you need to build trust with them. They may, however, have a future property need that has not yet arisen or reached a level of priority where they need to act. So create those conversations and build the trust with the person that you're talking to over time. That trust will allow you to revisit the same person on the telephone into the future. As I said before in this video, don't pitch. Seek the person's approval to make another few telephone calls directly over time into the future to update them on local property changes and information, be that in sales, leasing and/or property management. So let's recap. The best conversions you create are from conversations. Understand the call contact that you're going to make over time and put it into your database. Track the conversions, track the conversations, track everything that the person says to you in your database. Understand if they have a current or a future need. And of course, seek their approval to make further calls into the future. Don't waste their time, don't waste your time. If they don't want to hear from you again, don't call. Show respect to the people that you're talking to and update those people over time. So let's lastly go to a summary here. That is number 8. So these are the important factors that relate to successful cold calling in commercial real estate today. Understand the importance of the parts and the skills involved. Every element of your cold calling system should help you improve your skills over time. Generate more meetings and listing opportunities. Most commercial real estate listings today are created through trust and communication. That process takes time, practice and effort. You are the person to do that. Your personal processes of cold calling are really critical to the results that you will seek. So let's go back here and look at one particular article I've put on the website here, and that is Cold Calling Tips to be a Champion in Commercial Real Estate Today. I put here an article for you. It's in PDF format and you can download this particular article and review it. Indeed, I'll just download this here for you now so that you can see the particular file. Here it is here. It is a PDF and it contains lots of information relating to cold calling in commercial real estate brokerage. Review the PDF, review the slides, and that will help you as well. So my name is John Hyman. I've just gone through the successful cold calling processes in commercial real estate brokerage today. Don't forget to visit us at the website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. You can log in there and get the tips, tools and ideas and the templates to help you in cold calling in commercial real estate brokerage. So it's John Hyman signing off for now. I'll catch you again very soon on YouTube at commercial-realestate-training.com. See you soon.